Late game, craterflesh, dollar riding. In Act 3, when we pick up the craterflesh gloves, we start to see some crazy damage from riders using the same mechanics we've been working with the whole game. That arrow did 253 damage. How did we arrive at that total? Let's break down the interactions. First, the damage from the attack, as you would expect. Weapon damage being 2d8 for a slaying arrow, 14. Enchanted weapon +1. Dexterity modifier +5. Sharpshooter +10. Cloud giant +8 $. 7 + 7 for 14, totaling 52. And with the Bala's vulnerability, we double it to 104. And -4 from Great Worm Scale on answer for a total of 100. But as you can see here in the log, we now have more than 2 entries for damage from just one attack. So what's happening here? Well, we've looked at the first entry, but the second looks very similar. The slaying arrows deal double damage against their intended target. They do this by utilizing the Titan weapon feature, like any other special arrow would, riding your strength and your dex modifiers to increase its damage. However, in this case, all of the weapon damage is doubled, meaning the total initial attack damage happens twice. So the second entry in our log breaks down the exact same way as before. For weapon damage, 2d8 for a slaying arrow, 13. Enchanted weapon +1. Dex modifier +5. Sharpshooter +10. Cloud giant +8 $. 7 + 7, totaling 51. We double it with the Bala's vulnerability equals 102, and take away 4 from Answer's Great Worm Scales for a total of 98. What are these instances of force damage? These are from the craterflesh gloves, and they only trigger on a critical hit. They should deal 1d6 force damage, but since they're being treated as critical damage themselves, they're dealing 2d6 instead. So the first instance we're seeing is because of the first instance of weapon damage. And what we're seeing here is force damage 2d6 for 10, $. 7 + 7 for 14, Cloud Giant +8, 32, -4 for a total of 28. But the second instance of craterflesh applies because of the second instance of weapon damage and breaks down in the same way. Force damage 2d6 for 9, double $. For 14, Cloud Giant +8, 31, -4, totaling 27. Okay, to summarize, we had 2 instances of double force damage from craterflesh, 4 instances of Cloud Giant strength from Titan weapon, and 8 instances of Dollar Maris from our pair of daggers. To cap this all off, the Bala's armor doubles the piercing damage, which is all of the damage included in both instances of weapon damage.